Good morning, Jesse. I swear I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Damn it. I thought I turned it off. How are you doing today, my baby? I know you weren't feeling good yesterday. Are you feeling any better? We're gonna go for a ride here in a little bit, but I figure I do a live start at the house, and then we'll go for a ride. I gotta take some stuff over to my aunt's house because she's coming back from her 3 month hiatus. I think she's coming back from New Mexico today. She was in New York, then she went to New Mexico, and she's coming back today. Lucky us! Yay! Well, I'm glad you're feeling much better. So, are you working today? Because if not, I would like to talk to you, Suzette, and act right. Okay, well, let me know when you have some free time. After the live, of course. And I'll call you. I don't. I don't know if Suzette's working this morning or she works this evening. And I'm pretty sure Act Right is working. Um, so it'll probably be this afternoon. I don't know if I'm gonna try to get you guys all together in one chat. Okay. Um, I fell asleep on Suzette last night while we were talking, and I went to sleep early last night. My eyes were burning me. When my eyes start burning, I know it's time to go to sleep. I had a I had a productive what is it called? Conversation with the other two channel holders yesterday. Um, like I said, like anytime we get on the phone together, we never stay on topic. So I really didn't get much out yesterday that I wanted to, um, but we got a couple things settled. So oh damn it, I sent you that damn good morning thing instead of Jennifer. Oh well, it's okay. My bad. Um, well, I've already got Act Right over this, so I want to put you and Suzette in there too if you guys want to, um, for over the Nightbot commands. But I'll talk to you guys more about it later. Oh, look what I did last night. Oh, you got just don't mind what I look like because I'm standing here with the door open. I got one done. And then I got to do the rest of them. Oh, that one fell off in the middle of sleep. I don't know what happened. And then I got to do them ones. So I got them all ready. I just got to finish them now. I figured if I do it one at a time, they're more than likely to get done instead of trying to do them all at once and then we get bored of it and tired of it. So it took about 45 minutes just to do that one nail. Yeah, I don't know how it did. I woke up and I was like, damn, I don't even know where it went to. That's my fuck it Friday now. Yeah. I forgot to take the little corner tips off before I put them on yesterday, and this isn't acrylic. Like I wasn't doing acrylic. I have the acrylic, but I don't. I lost my brushes for the acrylic, so I've got to do. I've got to go get some new ones from the salon. But I did the poly gel over the nail yesterday, so it's a little bit different. It's supposed to be a little bit stronger too. Girl, you gotta come down here and let me do your damn nails. That's what mine look like before I get them done. You need to let me do your nails. I would say, when we're on our way to Canada, but that'll probably be a very messy situation. Well, I haven't had no excitement today, no law showing up in my parking lot. That was weird because yesterday the person that they had pulled doesn't even live here. Like I thought it was the one dude that lived across the way, but that's not him. I noticed that the dude yesterday had blonde hair, and the dude that lives across the way has dark hair, so that's not him. And the guy yesterday was a little bit thinner. He kind of looked like he was on something. Um, like you can spot in my town who's on drugs and who's not. No, no, I don't have a toe thumb. Damn. Ugh. I don't know what a toe thumb is. Like, Is it supposed to look like it's? I've been watching a lot of the nail tutorials lately. I just like to watch the ones where they design them to see what kind of designs I can do. Um, there's been a lot where people get acrylic on their toes. Why the hell would somebody want to get their toenails acrylic? Why would you want I understand getting a pedicure and having your toenails look cute and shit, but really spend the money on acrylic toenails? That's kind of crazy. I'm not a toe person, so I think that's disgusting. I would never touch somebody's toes. But I think that's gross. See, I've never done toenails before. But I have like extra wide nails too, because some of my nails are a little bit wider than the other, and my daughter has some wide nail beds. So I had to make sure I had um, if she wanted me to do her nails, because I won't do her nails no more. I bought them before I told her I wouldn't do them no more. But I won't do her toenails no more. Her fingernails no more. Because when she first moved down here, I did them. And she left them on for a day and tore the bitches off. Then I did it with the poly gel. And she left it on for maybe 2-3 days and then soaked them off. And I was like, she's like, Mom, you're right. It's a lot easier to take off the gel nails than it is the acrylic. And I'm like, don't tell me you did. She's like, well, I'm not telling you, but you could guess by my statement. I was like, you took your nails off again? And she's like, yeah. I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't charge much to do the nails. Anyway. Some people I don't even charge at all. Just do it. Just to have something to do. I have one, yes. Hello, DJ. Hey, Fruit Loops, what's up? Yeah, my daughter actually is 23 today. My daughter's birthday's today. I just realized what date it was. Holy shit. She's gonna kick my ass if she wakes up and there's no happy birthday for her. I told her she's gonna have to wait for me to do something with her for her birthday. So, because this weekend she's gonna stay with Mom during the day so my husband can go to work and I can go spend some time with my fur babies. She did tell me the only thing she didn't want me to do was tell her how special she was. Because every time I tell her that she's special, she said she hears the special ed in the background. Only my kid. Oh my goodness, 23. Where has the years went? My goodness. That really makes me feel old, y'all. Holy shit. I get to reflect on the 23 years my baby has been here. 22. Oh, Lord. So you had a 2002 baby. Or, no, he was still two. Yeah. 2002? Yeah. Because they're the same age for like 2 weeks, a week and a half. Okay. How is it the same year? Because mine was born January 5th, 2001. Yours was December 27th, 2001. Well, I'm not a very good math person. We know this. That was like one of the worst subjects in school. When somebody would ask me when she was born, how many months was she? I was like, I don't know about months, but she's like this many years and this many days. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, that's why I was like, well, they're the same age for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because she's the 5th and he's the 27th. So, like this year, he'll turn 23, and she'll be about to be 24. Doesn't make sense, does it? That's like the twins. There was a pair of twins that were just born on New Year's Eve here. One was born at 11:55, and the other one was born at 12:05. So one celebrates New Year's Eve and one celebrates New Year's Day. That is so weird. The 19th of this month or the 19th of, yeah, it would have to be this month, huh? My daughter, I don't know if I would consider her Capricorn. I more or less would put her as like, I don't know. She's definitely not a Capricorn. Capricorns are not as sensitive as she is, that I know of. I know what a Scorpio is. A Scorpio is a bitch. And yeah, I live up to my Scorpio ness. Now, I want you to help me with my baby. My beautiful, beautiful angel eyes. A very happy 25th birthday. And hope and bless for many more years of health, wealth, and love. I treasure you. I love you to pieces. Happy birthday. All right. What am I doing?
The most craziest thing about narcissists, because I've done a full like.
Her horizon and moon signs could affect her emotions. Oh, okay. It is up, but the door's open because I'm smoking a cigarette. And God, she stays in her bedroom because she'd be kicking my ass if she knew this damn door was open. Or that I'm this close to the door with a cigarette. But I got me a handy dandy Febreze air freshener, and I got melt waxes going. So I don't know if you can smell it unless you're a non-smoker. But I've been trying to keep it to where you don't smell nothing. Oh. You smell it? Now, we're going to go outside for a minute. I believe my neighbor's car has something that fell underneath his tire. Sorry. Good. How are you? Okay. Maybe he put it there. It's like the jack. It's like a jack to jack up your car. Ow! Son of a crackhead. Okay. It kind of worried me there for a second. So maybe he put it there himself. I think my upstairs neighbor's kind of upset. I don't know why. Her dog loves people, and I guess she's trying to make it to where he sits whenever he sees people. And I don't know if she really wants people petting him per se, because he's like a emotional support dog. Um, but you gotta let the dog get used to people. I mean, I don't really ever see her take him anywhere with her. So I don't know. And he really likes me because, like, whenever she leaves to go to work, because she works third shift, he sits out that window and just watches me. And then I see him bring his toys to the window. It's so cute. So cute. All right. I don't really have much to talk about. I was just going to do a live since I have to go in a little bit to go turn the heat up in my aunt's apartment. Guess I'll just do a little bit of research and work on some things. Well, nobody's in here. I'm thinking about starting up my
because you will fucking be amazed.
yeah. You just ever get that annoying feeling? Just so annoyed. Annoyed. Well, let's see. So, Epstein's list came out. There's a lot of pages. A lot. We should get another update on the Soto case today. And I'm waiting on some more. I'm waiting on an email from the school shooting from yesterday before I talk about that anymore. Um, yeah, we got a couple things we can talk about this evening because I will do a live tonight. I'm going to try my hardest to stay up and do a late live, probably about 9 o'clock. So, what I did yesterday was made a list of all my members. Congratulations to all of y'all that were gifted memberships. And I'm pretty sure just about all my mods are members now, except for maybe 3. Oh. Oh. So it was this 17-year-old Perry student killed, sixth grader wounded, 17-year-old Perry student killed a sixth grader, wounded 5 in school shooting. I thought it was supposedly a teacher. A teacher. Let's look at that.
Feel like that's the case anymore. It got so bad that
Oh shit.
Seen and woke up any normal morning, getting ready, gonna go see people we hadn't seen in weeks.
I was like, no way, like that couldn't happen. Like you guys just heard something and then nope, that's what she heard and it could have been her. She heard 3 gunshots that could have been pointed at her direction.
I just know he got grazed by a bullet. That's all I know. I just found out. I didn't know.
To think of any of them in that situation is just horrifying.
They pulled up and then saw the students running out. And so they just decided to just get out of there because obviously something wasn't right.
It is absolutely a nightmare. This is absolutely horrible.
Sadness, knowing that kids sitting behind me were soon to find something out that was going to break their hearts and reshape their worldview.
The officer first arrived within 7 minutes of that activation and located multiple gunshot victims.
And the principal came out and said, sit tight, hold your kids. There's been an incident at the high school.
And it was absolutely horrifying.
All of our hearts are heavy today for the people of Perry after a 6th grader is killed and 5 other people are hurt in a shooting this morning at the high school.
It was the first day back from winter break for students. Here's what we know so far. A 6th grade student was killed. 4 other students were hurt. So was the high school principal, Dan Marburger. Investigators say the suspected 17-year-old shooter shot and killed himself. KCCI has had a team of journalists in Perry all day.
That includes our Jody Long and Laura Carroll. They're anchoring our live team coverage and join us now with what authorities have confirmed so far.
Yeah, Ben and Stacey, it's been an absolutely heartbreaking, tragic day. You know, it's hard to really find the right word to describe the feeling in this town of Perry. I've had the chance to speak with parents, with the majority of them having a student inside the school when the shooting took place. And I had a chance to catch up with them this evening, who tell me at this hour, it's just beginning to sink in. They're really realizing the magnitude and the gravity of this event that unfolded today in this town, and they're hugging their children a bit tighter tonight.
They sure are. A lot of pain, a lot of despair over Perry. We talked to a lot of heartbroken students, parents today who saw things that really no one should ever see. But we also heard stories about heroes, about law enforcement agents who ran into the school, about a gas station clerk who locked the door and helped students shelter in place, about a father who showed up, saw the bloodshed, and tried to help. We have a lot of those stories we want to share with you tonight in our extended coverage. But first, we want to get to KCCI's Amanda Rooker, who has more on the announcement that authorities made at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Amanda.
Right, Laura, Jody, heartbreaking news in Perry tonight. We learned that one 6th grade Perry Middle School student has died, was shot and killed today. There were 5 other victims, 1 school administrator, 4 other students that were shot and injured today. We don't know the current condition of those victims. We know as of 2 p.m. today, 1 of the victims was in critical condition. The others were stable. During today's press conference, law enforcement said that police were notified at 7:37 this morning of an active shooting threat from an emergency radio in the school. Dispatchers were also taking several 911 calls. Officers arrived in about 7 minutes and found students either sheltering in place or running away from the school. Almost immediately, they found the suspected shooter. They've identified him as 17-year-old Dylan Butler, a student at Perry High. Butler was dead when officers arrived. He died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Law enforcement say they found him with a pump-action shotgun and a small caliber handgun. There was also what DCI called a, quote, improvised rudimentary explosive device. They say that was handled and determined to be safe. DCI says the shooter made concerning social media posts prior to and during the shooting. But right now, no motive has been released. They are still investigating what led to this incident. Now, Governor Kim Reynolds says the state of Iowa is providing all the resources it's able to.
The full resources of the state government will be available to assist in the response and, of course, the community's recovery from this tragic event. The mental health region has social workers that are embedded in the school district and will provide counseling services for the students, the families, and the staff.
Now, Jody, Laura, as you mentioned, emotions are high here in the community of Perry. Just in between our coverage, my photographer and I were in just the Casey's gas station when a mom walked in and was talking to the clerk just about what happened today. She was talking about her son who was inside the school, just now kind of talking with her kids about what they processed. Just as a mom, she broke down into tears, talking about hearing a child recount hearing gunshots inside the school, recount actually being grazed by bullets, and now just so lucky and feeling so blessed that they are handling this well, that they are okay, but then also grappling with some others who may or may not be okay as we are still trying to learn information about those other victims. We will continue to keep you updated if we learn anything more in the next few hours here. For now, Jody, Laura.
Amanda, thank you. Yeah, that's really the contrast of it all, the heartbreak of today. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Today was the first day back to class from winter break for these students here at Perry schools. And instead, it just turned into a heartbreaking situation, totally shattering, their positivity leading into this day, especially for parents who had loved ones going to that school or who worked at that school. As a warning, in this next story, some of the images are graphic.
We have all said this could never happen here. Now it has, this time rattling the tight-knit community of Perry.
It is absolutely a nightmare. This is absolutely horrible. I'm sorry, I'm just really upset.
Jody Kurtz's 15-year-old stepson, Xander Shelley, walked into Perry High School this morning and left with 2 bullet wounds to his back and arm not long after. The sophomore says he was shot in the school's hallway before running into a classroom out of harm's way.
It is tough. It is very tough. It's overwhelming. Like, the pain in your heart is just overwhelming.
Seth Dillinger's 2 younger siblings had just gotten dropped off at the school moments before the shooting began.
On the way out of the truck, they saw the kids coming out of school. That's when they knew something wasn't right, so they just hopped back in the truck.
Dillinger's younger cousin was inside at the time of the shooting and heard several shots.
She said that she was in the middle school building. Shots came from the high school. That's when she made her way out the building, got picked up, made it home.
Family members considering themselves lucky their loved ones made it out safe.
I'm just glad they're okay. I really am. I'm glad they're okay.
As for 15-year-old Xander Shelley, the student who was injured in that shooting, he was taken to Methodist Hospital where he is now being treated for his injuries. Just before the 6 o'clock newscast, I had a chance to talk with his dad, Keith Shelley, and he says, Jody, I just want to be with my son tonight. I almost lost him today. It's finally beginning to set in, and I just want to be with him. So as a parent, you can understand, what they're going through. And it's just something so heartbreaking that so many families here in the town of Perry have had to deal with today. Laura.
So many parents feeling that way today, and even people who aren't parents and just knew somebody in the school. The ripple effect is huge in this community. We have felt that today. There's a lot of prayer vigils tonight because a lot of people just want to come together. They want to do something. So we're going to go now to Kayla James.
Yeah, we'll start with her, and she had a chance to speak with a pastor who is also a bus driver who recounts the moment when he was en route to school to drop off his students there. Kayla.
Yeah, Jody, Laura, Rick Gates is the pastor of Crossroads Church here. Like you mentioned, he was driving on his bus route when this happened. In fact, he says he had just dropped off high school and middle school students minutes before. So, like you said, that ripple effect, he's feeling it like so many other in this community. He and those here at Crossroads Church quickly went into action, set up for a prayer vigil, not just for their church members, but for the parents and the students who truly felt that scare tonight.
Never has my pastor's heart hurt so much for our community.
For the people of Perry, a town with a population of 7,900, for the families affected, and Pastor Rick Gates says, for the students and young children like those on his bus this morning.
Sadness. Knowing that kids sitting behind me were soon to find something out that was going to break their hearts and reshape their worldview.
Gates, who is also a school bus driver, says he learned what happened during his route Thursday morning.
I just dropped off a few kids at the high school and was at the elementary school when the principal came out and said, sit tight, hold your kids.
Gates arrived at Crossroads Church sometime after he waited with the students and followed further instructions. When he arrived, he and his church members knew a prayer vigil was needed.
We knew that we needed to reset this place today because we got to do this tonight. We can't not do it.
So they transformed their church from their monthly care closet setup with tables full of clothing to rows of chairs lined up, ready and waiting to help anyone who needs a place to go, no matter where they stand with their faith.
If somebody's not at that point in their spiritual journey, that's okay. They can join us and be blessed by the Holy Spirit.
And tonight's vigil begins at 7. Pastor Gates again saying everyone is welcome. In the last 20 minutes, we have seen some cars driving in with people getting out and heading inside the church. So clearly you can see an hour before it begins that this vigil, like the others in the community, so clearly needed. We're going to send it back to the studio. Stacey, Ben.
All right, Kayla, thank you. And as you heard in Kayla's story, churches quickly organized events tonight in response to the shooting this morning.
And we do have a crew at one prayer event right now at Reese Park.
The vigil is organized by the Perry Ministerial Association. Our KCCI reporter Ophelia Jacobson is there. She tells us the churches that had planned separate vigils tonight combined to be all together here in Reese Park. They say they want this vigil to be a beacon of light.
There's been a lot of prayer and singing. They've invited anyone who wants to speak to do so. As you can see, one gentleman is up there doing so right now. There are also therapy dogs as well as candles for people in attendance.
It's a huge turnout for this event, people coming together to support each other in the community in this time. One faith leader even told the crowd to look around and give whoever you see a big hug.
And sometimes just that showing of support can obviously mean the world right now. A hug from somebody who cares about you, and community members really rallying behind the principal of Perry High. His name is Dan Marburger.
KCCI's Bo Bowman tells us more about who he is and his recovery. Bo.
Stacey, Ben, law enforcement told us early in the day that a school administrator was one of the victims here in Perry. We've since been able to confirm that that is Principal Dan Marburger, who was shot and then taken to a hospital in Des Moines. This was one of the first rumors that we heard right when this incident happened. Many people emailing and messaging us in the newsroom, but we wanted to make sure we could confirm that information before we reported it here on air. Now, what we know so far is that Marburger has been an educator across the state of Iowa for a long time. The high school he graduated from, East Central, now Easton Valley, sent out a statement earlier today sending heartfelt prayers and well wishes to the Marburger family. We've spoken to many people here in the community today, not only parents of students and staff members, but students themselves who told KCCI how Marburger was always willing to help a student who needed it.
Our principal, Dan Marburger, he was the nicest man I've ever met. He went into that building every day with a smile, how can I help you attitude. He wanted every student in that school to have the best day that they could.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You can almost hear it in their voice there, how much love they have for Dan Marburger and his family, certainly pulling for a recovery there. We also learned from the Easton Valley statement that they put out earlier today that Marburger has been principal here at Perry for a very long time, since 1995.
All right, so we got this one. I don't know if it's a video or not. It says live updated 16 minutes ago, but I can't. Oh, there it is.
Getting reports of an
Let's get right to Ron. He's got a breaking headline at this hour.
This is a Fox 10 news alert. We're getting reports of an active shooter situation at a high school in the Midwest. Police responding just in the last hour to a high school in Perry, Iowa, which is about 40 miles northwest of Des Moines, a community of about 8,000 people. We don't have any control over these live pictures. Media just responding. You can see some of the school buses there in the distance. And just a moment ago, the camera was focused more on the high school itself. There are about 17 to 1,800 students who are served by this school district. And the high school obviously located right in that neighborhood. Now, Fox has a source reporting that there are fatalities, but we are continuing to wait for additional information from law enforcement. I can also tell you that AP is reporting this was the first day back to school after the long holiday break. Again, the camera is moving around. It's a fluid situation, but there was a phone call made, and a school official did confirm that there had been a shooting on campus. We're going to wait to try to get additional details. So this is all happening it's basically a suburb of Des Moines, about 35 to 40 miles outside of the capital. But again, we are awaiting additional information right now. The reports are that there may in fact have been fatalities. We're going to work our sources and bring you additional information, guys, when it comes in.
Hello, Lisa. Welcome in, sweetie. Sorry, my phone is going nuts.
Well, thank you for having me. And that's a very, we call that a compound question. There's a lot going on in that question to kind of decompress. But yeah, I would say that all three of those things they're three different areas that we're all looking at. Obviously, we have the civil case against Epstein, the criminal case against Miss Maxwell that everyone's focused on now, which is brought by the federal prosecutor, and then a civil case against Miss Maxwell, which we are, has not been filed, but we are looking into.
All right, so we'll try to break it down a little more concisely. What's the chance that Maxwell skates criminally because of the Epstein plea a couple of years ago, where co-conspirators were part of the plea agreement?
Well, I mean, for the government to bring a case, I'm not a criminal prosecutor, but for the government to bring a case like this, they have to be very confident that they can succeed. And I would imagine that the government believes they can get past those defenses and move on to.
All right, so I didn't want to do him yet anyway. He wasn't who I was wanting to. I am going to catch up with him, but I don't want to catch up with him yet. I was looking because I didn't get to watch the, yesterday. press conference.
Hey, you know the best time you aren't retired. You got something behind your tire. Yeah, you got a tag. I'm just gonna want you to forget about it and try to roll over it. Oh, that's fine. I'm just saying I don't want you to forget about it. Okay. I never noticed this until today. That's weird. That's what you get for buying a Ford. All right, good luck.
All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, that wasn't what I was trying to do. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Yeah, I was looking for the, here, let's watch. That's only 53 seconds though. There we go. That's what I wanted to watch. Yeah, it was a long, hard process. I could say that.
Good. My name is Sheriff Adam Infante, INFANTE. I'm the sheriff here in Dallas County. I'm joined by our state, local, and federal partners here at the Prairie High School. This morning at approximately 7:37 a.m., we had a Sears radio activation at the high school, which indicated an active shooter situation. An officer first arrived within 7 minutes of that activation and located multiple gunshot victims.
Good morning, Mars.
We're still
That's this
unclear
stuff.
of exactly how many are injured or what the
Oh,
extent
you're
of those are,
fine,
but
honey.
we're working on that right now. There is no further
I just thought it
danger
was
to the
funny
public.
because every time somebody
The
messaged me,
community
you
is
hear
safe.
the
We're just now working backwards, trying to figure out everything that happened and make notifications. There'll be another update later on today. It's still very early. This happened at approximately 7:37 this morning. School didn't start yet, luckily. So there was very few students and faculty in the building, which I think
so
contributed
weird.
to.
I'm so grateful that we've here in our state we've had a couple of like bomb threats and just the craziness that kids do. But I don't think we've had one like this quite yet, and I'm glad. Like I think a lot. I mean, okay, so I know a lot of our students here are well gun educated, but then you do have the ones that are not and just think that it's cool to have a gun and they're not going to hurt nobody or nothing like that. And maybe because they hear about all this that I don't know.
A good outcome in that sense. But we'll have more information later on this afternoon. We will not be releasing any more information in the meantime. So please be patient with us so that we can talk with these victims and their families and try and figure out what happened. We won't be answering any questions today either, or right now. We'll let you know later on this afternoon, what time we'll be meeting back with you again, and we hope to provide more detail then.
So can we just to be clear, you don't have a number of people who were injured in this?
We're still working on that.
Have you identified the shooter?
Yes.
What's their current status? Are they alive or?
We'll get to that later on this afternoon.
Can you confirm if the shooter was a student at the school?
I can't confirm that right now.
Can you confirm any death?
No, not right now.
Reunification center for families and students right now?
Great point. The reunification center has already been established, and at most of those, I think all the kids have been reunified already. So we're good in that area. Thank you.
Were there any faculty members that were hurt?
I can't answer that question yet.
Have you made any apprehensions or arrests?
Can't answer that question yet either.
We'll take no further questions at this time. We'll see you this afternoon.
We'll go ahead and get started. Our hearts are heavy today and our prayers are with the Perry community. This strikes at the heart of everything that we hold dear. This senseless tragedy has shaken our entire state to the core, and I want this community to know that every Iowan stands with you. It's impossible to understand why anything like this happens, but again, I want you to know that we'll work tirelessly to get the answers so that we can prevent it from happening again. I want to take a moment this afternoon to recognize the immediate and courageous response of local law enforcement today and the incredible coordination between local police, first responders, the Dallas County Sheriff's Office, the Iowa State Patrol, DCI, ATF, and the FBI, and multiple healthcare providers. I had the opportunity a few moments ago to speak with some of the officers involved. And in a situation like this, as we all know, every minute counts. And their heroic actions today, we can say, saved lives. The response was tremendous, and we're extremely grateful. The full resources of the state government will be available to assist in the response and, of course, the community's recovery from this tragic event. The mental health region has social workers that are embedded in the school district and will provide counseling services for the students, the families, and the staff. As you all know, this is an ongoing investigation, so law enforcement will brief you only on what they can at this time, and they will provide additional information as it becomes available. And so with that, I'd like to turn it over to the chief.
Thank you. I'm Chief Eric Vaughn from the Perry Police Department. I want to thank the quick actions of the Dallas County dispatchers who handled and dispatched the calls regarding this tragic event this morning. I also want to recognize the initial officers from the Perry and Dallas County Sheriff's Office and their actions on scene. Thank you to the massive response from agencies throughout the area, including EMS, for their assistance today. It is truly amazing to see first responders work together in these crisis situations. And I cannot forget to recognize the teachers, faculty, and students involved who acted bravely and heroically in this tragic situation. Thank you to the community support we have seen and we will continue to need in the future. All of our condolences to the victims and their families. They need your thoughts and prayers, as well as time and space to process and to grieve. This community has been through tough times before and have rallied together. I'm sure this time will be no different. Thank you. I introduce Mitch Mortvet, DCI.
Thank you, Chief. My name's Mitch Mortvet. I'm an assistant director with the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation. At 7:37 a.m., on January 4th, 2024, the Perry Police Department responded to an active shooter event at Perry High School. Meanwhile, Dallas County Communications was also receiving multiple 911 calls of an active shooter at the high school. Perry police officers responded within minutes. They immediately made entry and witnessed students and faculty either sheltering in place or running from the school. Once inside, they located multiple individuals with gunshot wounds. Officers immediately attempted to locate the source of the threat and quickly found what appeared to be the shooter with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. As additional officers responded, a systematic search of the school took place. Officers located during the search of the school an improvised explosive device. The state fire marshal and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms rendered the device safe. Numerous officers from multiple agencies were able to secure the school and verify no additional threats. At the same time, first responders were rendering aid to the victims who were later transported to area hospitals. The shooter has been identified as 17-year-old Dylan Butler, a student at Perry High School. Butler was armed with a pump-action shotgun and a small caliber handgun. Butler also made a number of social media posts in and around the time of the shooting. Law enforcement is working to secure those pieces of evidence. All evidence thus far suggests that Butler acted alone. There are 6 victims, one of them who is deceased. That individual was a 6th grade student at Perry Middle School. The other 5 are being treated at area hospitals. 4 of the surviving victims are students, and the 5th is a school administrator. The law enforcement response was swift and immediate. Roughly 150 officers from local, state, and federal agencies responded within the hour. The investigation in today's tragedy is ongoing. The Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation is serving as the lead investigative agency with assistance from the Perry Police Department, the Dallas County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the ATF, and the Dallas County Attorney's Office. At this time, we will take a few questions.
Mitch, Philip Jones from the Register. I was told by the father of a student who was shot that his son witnessed Principal Dan Marburger be shot. Is he the administrator, and what is his condition?
The investigation's ongoing, and we're not releasing any other names other than Dylan Butler's name at this time.
Can you give us any indication as to motive for this? I know this is ongoing. But...
Anything into the background of him is part of the investigation, and we're obviously going to take a deep dive into that, but there's nothing that we can release at this time.
And where would you give us the status of the other 5 who are in the hospital? Are they stable? Are they critical?
At this time, it's my understanding as of about an hour ago, 1 was in critical condition, but appeared not to be life-threatening, and the other 4 are stable.
Is any racial motivation in this shooting, and are there any Latino victims?
As far as the ethnicity of the victims, I'm not sure. And there's nothing to indicate at this time that it had anything to do with race. As far as motive, again, that's part of the background investigation, and that's something that we're continuing to look into.
Sir, excuse me, there's a video online. Is there any credibility to this video naming this man as the shooter?
I haven't seen the video, and that I don't know at this time, but law enforcement is working to secure those pieces of evidence, as I mentioned in the statement. So there's nothing more that we can comment on about that.
This is the first time that we've heard someone from the middle school being involved in the shooting. Do you have an idea as to the path this suspect took?
It all happened in the Perry High School, and it was before school started, so there were not many students, and it's our understanding that there was a breakfast program going on, so there may have been students of different grades, if you will, in the school at that time. But it all was contained in the Perry High School, not in any of the other buildings.
How fired?
That's still part of the investigation. We're trying to determine that.
How sophisticated was the IED?
Explosive device?
I'm sorry, one of you?
The explosive device?
Yes.
What else could you tell us?
Not much about it, other than it was pretty rudimentary, and it was rendered safe by, like I said, the state fire marshal and the ATF.
Can I ask a question of the governor?
Sure.
Given that the investigation is ongoing, and this is a local and state matter, however, the eyes of the world are on Iowa over the next 11 days. How should the candidates running for president talk about what happened?
Well, I'll let them.
The issue of school violence generally.
I'll let them decide how they're going to talk about it. We're going to focus on the investigation, and we're going to focus on making sure that we provide the resources that the community, the teachers, the staff, those that are involved, the families, that we're providing the resources that they need during this difficult time. So that's what I'm going to be focused on. The state of Iowa is going to be focused on, and I'll let the candidates decide what they're going to focus on.
You worry they might
Thank you.
politicize it?
We're going to take no more questions at this time.
What does the
Thank
school,
you.
for school safety for other schools in the area that we're looking at this year? What does school safety look like going forward here in Iowa?
I mean, as it was commented on by the chief, that and by the governor as well, that everybody reacted the way they should, and it's obvious that training, first of all, at the school level, with faculty and students, everybody reacted absolutely appropriately the way they should, as well as law enforcement as they are entering the building. Thank you.
How the school safety bureau responds to this.
Well, I forgot that the presidential race was presidential thing was in Iowa this week coming up. Huh. I don't take much to what them presidential people say anyway, because they'll tell you anything to get them elected till they're in there. Jesse, 2 more broke off. I guess I'm gonna have to really get onto it today. I really am, because I'm gonna end up having to replace them all if I don't. So, what y'all don't know is when Jessie was in here by herself, I showed her what I was doing yesterday. Instead of doing lives, I was trying to do my nails. Now, I'm very good at it. I am really, really good at it. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I just know what I'm doing. I've been doing them since I was 18. I learned from a nail tech down in Florida. I'm okay with doing the nails, but as the detail and the things like that, yeah, no, I'm not very good at it. But damn, this glue is good. Once I found a fucking glue that's really good. Oh, I guess I'm not gonna be able to take that one off. And I don't do acrylic anymore. I have acrylic and I can. I just didn't bring my brush, so I didn't do acrylic this time. I did nail tips with a gel overlay. I'll show you the one that I did and completed last night. I really need to work on doing the nail art because I'm not very good at that yet. But I like to do them one at a time instead of doing them all together, because then I get bored and I don't want to finish them, or I get mad and want to take them off. So do one at a time. It's a lot easier. So I started one. I got one done, and now I got to do the rest. But my other nails, I don't know. I woke up with one was off. It broke off. And then I just had 2 more break off. But it's just a nail tip, so, it's good. They're flimsy. Well, kind of. So anything can bend them, anything. This isn't a nail tutorial, though. I'm just saying. This makes me sick to my stomach, but more sad that this has come to a new normal for our children and friends. They get up every morning and have to prepare yourself for this just to go to school. And I agree with you. Like, since when should we be worried about sending our kids to school or even going to school to work? It does terrify me, considering my daughter is a substitute teacher, and some of them are unliked more than the regular teacher themselves. So it really worries me because my daughter's a substitute, my niece is a substitute. And my sister-in-law is a teacher. I have a cousin that is a teacher. I think I might have another cousin that is a professor in college, but I'm not sure if she's still doing that or not. But I worry about them all the time going to the school. Like, am I going to get a phone call saying something's wrong? I don't ever want to be that parent to get a phone call like that. I couldn't imagine, and I don't pretend to imagine what these people go through. I think the closest school that I've ever lived to that has been in the news for this kind of stuff was the Parkland High School in Broward County, Florida. I didn't live far from that school. That school was a rival to my school. There are many, many high schools in Broward County. There are at least 6 in the city that I lived in. But Broward County is a pretty big county. I mean, it has like several big cities in it. Yeah, I just can't believe these kids and how they're able to get their hands on a gun. And some of them do it for fun and some do it for revenge. But I still just don't think anything could be that bad that you have to go and shoot up a bunch of people that are innocent, that have nothing to do with it, just because you want them to feel like what you feel like. That's mentally disturbed. Oh, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm trying to get the glue from the nail that I had to rip off. Gosh. So this is the one I woke up to broke. This one just came off, and this one just came off. So now I got these ones to finish. I did this one last night. And this color on the top is glow in the dark. Well, the cops down in the Parkland one were useless too. You remember the one, I don't know if it was the cop or the security guard, but either way, one of them refused to go inside the building. Refused. And it's okay. So all of these school shootings have happened to public schools. We're just not hearing all the stuff that happens with the private schools or charter schools, the magnet schools, the early colleges. Like here we have something called the early college. It's a high school that gets you ready for your college. You take college prep classes. It's not the same as a regular high school. You don't graduate with your normal graduating class. You graduate the year after. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I agree. All we had to really worry about was getting caught skipping. But see, up in New York, it's a lot different. And then I'll tell you about my experience in high school in Florida too. In New York, it's a lot different because, when I was going to school, you can walk in the front door and walk right out the back door. You can walk in the back door and walk right out the front door. Didn't nobody stop you? Didn't nobody ask no questions? Because, and this is why, Our school started at like 7 something. It was before 7:30. Like the first period bell would ring. Um, but we had 10 periods in my high school in New York. We didn't go to all 10 periods. We would have, like, I went in, my first period was at 10 o'clock. So that's like the fourth period already, third or fourth period by that time. So I either could go to study hall or I didn't have to go. I could just go when it was my time to go. So, yeah, it was a lot different back then than it is now. A lot different. And like I can't remember how many classes I had, but I think my last class was at like it ended at like 4:45. And that was the last class of the day. And you didn't really have a hard time getting on different buses to go somewhere else. I would get on a bus, even though I walked to school. That I was known as a walker. Um, I would get on the bus after class and take it over to my friend's house because she lived over by the place that I worked at on Fridays. I think I had to do it a couple days during the week too. But I remember Friday and Saturdays was the biggest work days because I worked at a roller skating rink. But I never really had issues. The main school I went to, high school, I didn't have any issues with my classes or periods. And now, like, they have fences around the whole damn school. There's bars on all the windows. There's thingies at the front door before you walk in, like metal detectors or something. And when you go in, you got an X-ray thingy. Like, it's crazy now. I just can't believe what has to happen to make our kids feel safe. But I'm sorry, with all that on the school, doesn't make me feel any more safe. It doesn't, because God forbid something happens in the school, then your kid can't get out. So all that extra security measures they take isn't necessarily the safest shit. No, it wasn't shooting you the bird. I was showing you my nail fell off. Yeah, agreed, Mars. We can just get on any bus we wanted to. But it's so different now. Like, you can't even walk in the school without showing your ID and telling them what kid you're there for. And you have to show your ID at the camera. Unless they already know you up there, that's what they have to do. And it's crazy that you have to go through so much just to get your kid out of school. Just to take your kid out of school. You can't just go up there and say, hey, I'm getting my kid for the day. You can't do that no more. You got to have a legitimate reason why you were taking your kid out of school. Oh, shit. I forgot my mom's apple. God dang it, y'all. You're not helping me. Where's that right? She's the one that keeps reminding me about mom's apple. I'm sorry. I forgot. My bad. And your name better be on that list or you ain't taking it. Yeah, it's crazy. Like sometimes I'm like, you are not going to tell me I cannot take my kid. Like you didn't go through the labor to have that child. I did. I don't have to have a reason to come up to the school to get my kid. If I want to take my kid out of school, I'm gonna take my kid out of school. I mean, I had something like that here with my daughter in school, but it was a different thing because she was in a year-round school here, and they go to school 9 weeks, they're out 3 weeks, and it's like that, which I think is a good thing because then kids don't lose or forget so much on a break. They get the same regular breaks as the rest of the school does, rest of the public schools. But I just think they don't forget. Oh shit, Heather. They don't forget as much. What did you do? Ma. This fucking woman. No, can you guys give me like 10 minutes out or 5 minutes? Please don't leave. I'll be right back. Oh my God, y'all. I am so sorry. Let me game myself real quick. This is getting ridiculous. All right, I'm back. Though she's probably not going to be ready to eat this now. Can't stand that nobody wants to help me. But that's going to be on their stupidity, not me. I was supposed to leave, take you guys on a ride with me, but I don't even know if I'm going to leave now. Like, I'm really worried about leaving my mom alone. Like, she just stood up to try to use this bedside potty and fell. Like, she didn't even know she was falling. She didn't even know she fell until I told her to hold on to me. She's like, how did I get down here? And I was like, you fell. Her bag opened. I mean, it didn't open. Somehow it leaked through the bag itself. Like, that's weird. I've never had that happen yet. God damn, man. No, like, it's just disgusting. Stuff all over the sheets, comforter, pillows, the rug, all over, slippers, clothes, everywhere. Fucking apple juice. Fucking apple shit all over me, too. God, Lord have mercy. Anyway. Suzette, she had an appointment 2 days ago. But they told us to reschedule it after we got her an emergency appointment in with her ear doctor. But we can't get into her fucking ear doctor. He's only there 1 day a fucking week. And obviously they don't think this is an emergency enough to fit her in. That's the third time she has fell with me. And it kills me. It's not that I haven't been paying attention or that I allowed it to happen. She tries to do things and not tell me. I walked in there as she was falling. Like, I was there just in time. Yeah, well, I tried that, but she can't. It's hard to do that because of the way her dizziness is, Suzette. Like, if she stands up, she gets dizzy. If she sits up straight, she gets dizzy. And I don't even think she was standing up for less than a fucking minute when she just fell when I walked in there. I just don't know what to do anymore. I need to smoke a cigarette. And then we don't even know if that's what it is, Lisa. We have no idea what is making her dizzy like this. Because right before she went in for her surgery, they told her she didn't have it. Because my mom has always been like really dizzy. Like she always gets dizzy. And it's been before this. It's I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know. She's been having dizzy spells for a long time. I do know that. Like, years-wise, long time. Take this damn dog out. Let me get my phone hooked up to the StreamYard real quick. Come on, dog, get over here. Well, see, all her doctors are in a different county. They're all over there in Chapel Hill. The only doctor that's here is her primary care and her ear doctor. And it's really like a hearing aid doctor, but he also is a regular ear doctor as well. So he does see her for her ear. I don't know. Give me 1 second. Let me switch over. Come on, guy. Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here. Come here. Come here, what was that? Hold on. Thank you. Come on. Hold on. Stop.
Michael Stone, Mike Messenger, the Speedball Express. Sutherland pays out his instant records bicycle ride. And one prior for assault in Canada. That's still driving in New York. And you guys consider a summons a badge of honor? You got a stab wound to the upper right thigh. This guy was training, he's wearing one of those high-tech heart
Can you know what I'm saying? You guys can hear me. Stop. Okay, hold on 1 second. The dog keeps pulling me. I know you're fine. Come on, buddy. Come on, let's go. This fucking dog drives me nuts. Anyway, so last couple of days, I mean her eye hurting her the same side that is it the same side? No, it's the opposite side that the ostomy bag is on. So I don't know. I don't really know, y'all. Like I'm just so wore out. I'm so like I'm already like I've been diagnosed as a very depressant person, like manic depressant, and I hide it very well. This is not very doing very much for my mental stability. I could tell you that. And the way nobody's helping isn't helping me either. Um, but I'm not here for that. I'm not here to talk about that. I would love cases. So, joy. As soon as I check on her, I don't want to leave her, but I've got to go to my aunt's house. Come on, guy. I've got to go to my aunt's house and turn on her heat and drop off her package that she got before she gets home this afternoon. Oh, Lord. Hopefully. Right now, we're not chatting about anything, Alpaca. Mom had an accident, so I had to pause. We were chatting about the high school shooting yesterday. We went over a couple of news reports and uh, the press conference. The one that you texted me, the one I didn't get to watch. Yeah, I wasn't having a bad day. It's ended up to be like that. Kitty ate all that food. Come here, you. Come here. I gotta go see if Miss Faye has like a laundry pad. Hold on 1 second. Oh, okay. Yeah, but my mom is so funny, Lisa. I would not mind doing that. But my mom is so weird. If she doesn't know the people, she doesn't like them in her house. Like come on. She's so funny like that. She don't even really like a lot of her family in her house. I'm very sorry to hear that you have taken another spill. No, they don't do stuff like that here. You have to be like a hospice or something. Hold on one second. All right, I had to get my laptop back on. But yeah, you have to literally be on hospice or something like that. Her insurance does a partial pay for a nurse to come in, but we have to pay on top of that. So I need to really call her insurance and see if they, instead of them sending somebody out, if they'll pay me to do it. That's a lot of my stress because I don't have the money to pay my bills because I haven't been able to work. So if they can at least do that, it'll help a little bit. It'll take some stress off of me. How the hell did you not get it on your nightgown? We got it on everything else. Huh? It goes over everything else, but not on your nightgown. That is skill, Mom. Yeah, I got take this. Now I gotta find the remote. Good remote. Well, you're laying down this end. I know, but you're laying here, so I'm gonna raise you up some. So, I gotta figure out how to wash a pillow. Because you had this wrapped up in your sheet when you took it off. You should be able to wash it. I am, I'll put it on the washing machine. Your slipper got it. Oh my gosh. You know what? Oh, Lord have mercy. I know, Suzette. I know. Yeah, they don't have ones like that. Everybody wants to be paid. My county is all about the money. Like, if they're not making money, they're not doing it. And I know they probably do have volunteers, but I'm with my mom. I don't trust a lot of people that I don't know. If I knew them, it might be a different story. One second. Oh my gosh. All right. Got that stuff in the washing machine. I just gotta figure out how long that stuff sits on the floor for. Oh, I understand, y'all, and I appreciate you guys for giving me the I don't even know what to call it. I'm so just right now. You know what I have? Like, I got my daughter to come over for a few hours tomorrow to help me, and so my husband can go to work, and she's coming for a few hours on Sunday so he can work. So that'll give me a little bit of break. But as soon as I go back home, my husband doesn't clean, like, unless he's mad. So I've got a bunch of cleaning to do. I can't even just relax. Because while I was there over New Year's, I refused to do anything because I was like, damn, I come over here to relax, not to fucking have to clean up, considering I haven't been there in a month. But I really do need to get up with her insurance and find out what healthcare group does the at-home healthcare, and call that place and see how I go about talking to somebody about that. Because that'll be one thing to really, really get the stress off me. Because right now, even if it was an at-home job, I don't know if I'd be able to be committed to the hours that I have to be committed in order to do the job. Like, I'm babysitting on the 15th, my first time in quite a few weeks. And my daughter's going to stay the night with her then. I'm just really worried about doing it now. Because my daughter, she's got so many complaints on why she doesn't want to do it. She can't empty the thing that my mom has to empty her pouch in because it'll make her sick. Well, it makes me sick too, but I still got to do it. She's not going to be able to empty the bedside commode. Thank God it's only for one night, and I'll be home first thing in the morning. Or be back here first thing in the morning. I wish I could go home, but I don't know, y'all. I'm so besides myself right now. I don't know what the fuck. What's up, what's down, who's coming, who's not. I need to go see if she wants this apple. Yeah, but my house isn't the house I would need the help with. It would be her house that I need the help with. My house is just messy because of the fucking dogs and cats. I got to put all my Christmas shit that I did get out away. And dishes are probably the biggest thing that I probably have to do. Because he doesn't really cook for himself. But there's still dishes. And my brother is a total dick. He really is. He doesn't like, I don't know, he's not going to help. He's already said it. And I'm like, why? And then he goes back into his repressed memories. And I'm like, dude, she's always been there for you. Always. Now it's time for you to be there for her. I was there after Dad died. Well, okay, good. You're supposed to be there. She's your mother. She had you. If it wasn't for her, you would not be fucking here. Even if you didn't like your childhood growing up, that's still not a reason to fucking bitch out right now. But anyway, let's see what other news is going on. We've got to get off this subject.
We want to bring into the conversation our friend, retired police lieutenant, and founder of the Wounded Blue organization, our friend Randy Sutton. He joins me. Randy, thanks for being with us and Happy New Year. Unfortunately, it's on these circumstances yet again here. But I wanted to ask you first, where does a 17-year-old get a pump-action shotgun? All right, Randy, we are kind of working on getting your audio there. We just want to put up some of this video from the scene as well here, and you can see what an active scene it was. Randy, we do have your audio. We do apologize to the viewers there. I guess I'm going to ask my first question to you yet again. Where does a 17-year-old get a pump-action shotgun? Do we know the provenance
I'm sure
of the
they're going
weapon?
to be looking into that, but let's look at this area of Iowa. It's a rural area, and shotguns are used for hunting. Shotguns are used for self-protection. He also had a handgun. So I'm sure that the investigation is going to look at where did that access to those firearms come from? Were these unfettered access by the parents that he had the opportunity to get these weapons? Did he take did he have access to a safe or wherever these weapons were kept? And I'm sure that's going to be very, very critical to the investigation, and they're going to be looking at that. I don't know anything about the parental issues involving this suspect, but that's something that will be a deep dive for sure by the investigators.
Okay, what did you make of the news that this 17-year-old shooter brought an IED, an improvised explosive device? Of course, it was very rudimentary here, but that kind of goes to his state of mind. I mean, does it not? We don't know the motive just yet, but he brought the weapons, yes, but an IED.
Yeah, that takes it to a whole new level. That shows that there was a lot of premeditation here. He had to research how to make an IED of whatever, however rudimentary it was. That means he had to be planning this and thinking about it, and had to be deeply involved for at least a period of time. That he made the determination that this was going to be his course of action. So once again, the IED adds another level of the kind of the dementedness of this horrendous act, killing a sixth grader and other individuals who I don't know whatever his grievance was, but you can bet that this sixth grader didn't play a role in his grievance. And so the fact that he is in his rage and his determination to kill, he didn't care who it was that he was killing, and that's part of the insanity here, and how heartbreaking this is.
Yeah, that was my next question. We have to find out whether or not it was random or targeted as well. All indications point to possibly random at this point in time. Of course, that could change as well. The gunman made numerous posts on social media leading up to the shooting as well. Evidence did suggest that he acted alone here. And so 4 other students were injured in this, and the school administrator, the principal there at Perry High.
Yeah, and there were also comments made by other students that they believe that this was in response to bullying, and that there had been a long period of bullying involved in this, and then when this young man's sister entered the school, that the bullying also encompassed her. So this is something that really needs to be delved into. Were there reports of bullying from this individual and the family of this suspect prior to this horrendous retaliation, if that's what it was, for the bullying? And of course, that's something that's going to be part and parcel of this investigation as well, because of course, we're so early on in the investigation that these answers, will take some time to answer.
Yeah, it is still so early. But to your point there, we've seen previous school shootings. Oxford High School in Michigan comes to mind, Ethan Crumbly, where the burden is on the administrators to answer whether or not there were warning signs from this particular shooter, 17-year-old Dylan Butler, whether they, were followed up with or ignored or dealt with in some capacity, on whether or not I should say that this 17-year-old was on the radar of some of these administrators and officials at the school. That has to be looked into, right?
Absolutely. These school shootings do not happen in a vacuum. There are signs, there are warning signs that sometimes don't, become apparent until, after the murders take place. But there has to be a deep dive into what the motivations were. And, we
Hello,
all do
Selena.
know
Welcome
this,
in.
that oftentimes bullying is part of is part of the issue when these school shootings take place. So this has to be something that is examined by
She needs
the
a friend,
investigators,
from
and
Friends.
then
Yeah, well, I haven't gotten in here,
if
so.
if it comes to light that the school administration had knowledge about school bullying and about any other information that they may have had, did they come forth with it to anybody that may have been able to to stop this before it began?
Intervene.
And then of course we also have the parental issues. What did the parents know? What kind of relationship was there between he and his parents? And if there were any signs, did they try to lessen the access to the firearms? So there's so many questions here that need to be answered.
Yeah, and of course, we've also seen in previous school shootings as well that those who were injured, they file civil suit against the school district and others, over the injuries that they sustained in this as well. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it is much too early to tell with this particular shooting here. Let's talk about law enforcement's response, Randy. There was a school resource officer there in the school. Law enforcement around the area there in Perry said they got there within 7 minutes. That's really, really fast. And you hate to say this, but it could have been so much worse, right?
Well, yeah, it could have been so much worse. Thank God that he chose this particular time when there was not a crowded school.
Sure.
When it was actually before school, and of course the law enforcement response was swift, and they were able to at least administer life-saving techniques to the victims. But the shooter himself had already apparently taken his own life prior to the police getting there, or perhaps while the police got there. Many of these school shootings and other active shooting events wind up in the suicide of the suspect, as if this was part of the planning, and the inevitable result was going to be in their own death. And they knew that, and decided to create the incident with the full knowledge that this was part of their plan.
Of course, we just have to wait and see what comes of the investigation here. As always, Randy Sutton, we do appreciate your expertise, your insight. You've dealt with situations like this. You train, law enforcement entities in the response of something like this as well. And of course, we're in a new year. It's only the 4th day of the year. We're seeing another tragic mass shooting, this time a school shooting. So 2024 getting off to a really grisly start there in Perry, Iowa. Randy, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, we do know that these, the one that was killed and the ones that were hurt really are never going to get any justice since he took his own life. Okay, my mom just yelled at me. She wants me to go to my aunt's house. She said she will not move out of bed. She will lay right there until I get back. I don't know whether to trust her or not. Give me 1 second. Let me get my jacket and stuff on. And getting my hoodie on. You guys feel like going for a ride? We'll go for a ride. Actually, no, I think I'm gonna get off here and I'll do a live a little bit later. Like I said, I'm still waiting on that email from one of my contacts out there in Iowa. So or waiting for him to get in touch with me on Twitter, one or the other. This is Aunt Sandy's, right? This is 2001 C19. That's the only key that's like that over there. Got my keys, Dad's keys, and your keys. That's the only opposite key. And I believe that's the one I used. Do not move. I got it. Give me a card because I have no money. I use my money on your. I use my money on your. I might have to put some gas in your too. I need your card for the liquid gas card. Well, I can use that for the bill. Why not? Instead of using cash, use your food stamps. Yeah, but you can't use that for cash. You can use that for food. That's for milk. What's the numbers? 1943. Yes. Do you need anything else? I might need to pick up apples too. There's only like 1 or 2 left. I'm gonna get a box of chicken out of restaurant for dinner.